It's happened. A large-scale disaster has just struck your jurisdiction. You've prepared for this moment your entire career. As you begin to mobilize, you remind yourself that mere seconds can mean the difference between life and death. Two things help you maintain the confidence and focus you need to do your job: your training and your ability to connect with your support resources. Your lifeline, and the lifeline of those you are there to help, is your ability to communicate. Your most essential tool for communication is your land mobile radio, or LMR. Sadly, events of September 11, 2001 put a dramatic and tragic exclamation point on the limitations of using LMR as a sole means of communication.
The inspiration for Rivada, if inspiration is the right word, came about for two reasons. One, a very clear need, which manifested itself to me in the most abrupt manner possible during September the 11th, 2001, where my family was directly affected by the events of that day. My wife is from Staten Island in New York. Her brother-in-law, her sister's husband, was a New York firefighter and responded that day. His colleagues were not so lucky. Most of them did not escape with their lives that day. And one very hard lesson, which we all learned, was the failure of communications that day. The fact that some lives were lost, I believe unnecessarily, because of a communications failure.
Nowadays, when a mega disaster like a tornado, hurricane, wildfire, earthquake, or homeland security threat takes place, it's necessary to enhance the communication tools already deployed. The September 11th Commission report emphatically recognized the need of emergency responders to have interoperability, the ability to connect with all arms of the disaster search, rescue, and relief effort.
You know, always in this type of disaster, the three things that always happens in a disaster is you lose communications, you lose power, and then you lose some form of control.
Now, there's a solution to these challenges. Rivada Networks allows you to use full capabilities of mobile phones and laptops during a disaster on a secure private network, regardless of how badly existing infrastructure is damaged. Rivada Networks gives emergency responders an added dimension of communication capabilities that is not affected by capacity failures of local telephone and mobile phone systems. Also works to enhance the capabilities of your existing LMRs by freeing up bandwidth.
I think a system like your company has is extremely important to, you know, the first responders. One, it's easy to set up, it's quick, it's reliable, and then it's flexible because you know, you can use it off of different systems, and it also has the capability of you know, bringing up laptops off the internet and stuff like that. So I think that's the value of having a system like that.
Rivada Networks is a mobile, deployed system that creates a secure private mobile phone network by relaying communications via satellite between the disaster area and a mobile phone switching center that is outside the affected area. This creates a communication zone, or bubble, that is secure and effective. Taking advantage of existing satellite and phone carriers, Rivada Networks offers a communication system that has virtually no dead zones, is immune to the disaster, is cost-effective and efficient, and most importantly, is supported by existing technology.
The beauty of what Rivada brings to the table is the beginnings of understanding how piggybacking on the established satellite-based community that is already there, the commercial cellular community that is already there, they can reintroduce the ability to talk with each other and share information between and among those disparate players that would be extraordinarily positive in any kind of crisis situation.
Building plans, internet-capable structure control systems, live images of events taking place on the ground, medical records and diagnostics, and even animal rescue information can all be transmitted and received using Rivada systems. Most importantly, easy communication between all federal, state, and local agencies, as well as non-governmental organizations like the Red Cross and the ASPCA, are all possible with Rivada Networks without costly hardware and infrastructure upgrades.
Rivada Networks designs, maintains, and deploys interoperable communications. And the focal point of Rivada is to provide that connectivity to first responders at the scenes of disasters, tie together people with disparate systems that may have been funded many years ago and maintained or maybe state-of-the-art currently, and brings those together into a harmonious exchange of information using the technology that's currently available.
No emergency response agency likes to be on the receiving end of public outrage just because the cost of communications improvements was prohibitive. By offering affordable communications upgrades without major hardware and training costs, Rivada Networks helps agencies maintain and enhance public trust. Creating entirely new systems from the ground up requires expensive, time-consuming training and increases the likelihood of mistakes and miscommunications. Rivada Networks is primarily a service plan, which means no training.
Communication is the lifeblood for any first responder, and it's also our #1 safety line. We need to be able to communicate with those agencies that are responding with us and that are supporting us in the response to a disaster.
Rivada Networks simply bridges the gaps that exist within existing satellite and mobile phone carriers and piggybacks on their proven and tested technology, eliminating glitches that can cost money and lives. In most cases, all that is needed are software installs on existing phones and laptops. When disaster strikes, your communication needs are mission critical and can save lives. You need interoperability and the real-time transfer of voice, video, and data. You need to communicate when, where, and what you need with all public safety agencies. And you need to do this instinctively, effectively, and affordably. You need Rivada Networks, your communication solution.